I don't know about you, man. I thought he was electric, and it was immediately obvious to me that Real Madrid, like this Real Madrid, Sergio Ramos, Casemiro, these guys were not going to be able to in any way contain Christian Pulisic, and for me, that's a really big statement. As soon as he got into the game, Herc, I felt like it was only a matter of time till he was going to make the play that he was put on the field to make. And the statistics don't lie, right? We saw the graphic earlier. There's the assist, but the impact you can measure in a million different ways. Real Madrid has 4 yellow cards in this match, Herc. 2 of them come from guys beaten up on Christian Pulisic, Valverde and Toni Kroos. His impact was overwhelming. It was immediate. You hear a lot of times from English pundits, oh, this guy was unplayable today. I think Christian Pulisic, you can make the case, was unplayable on Wednesday. Let's talk about the assist itself, because it's a beautiful play, but maybe more importantly, it's a big play. What did you make of it, and where do you want to start on breaking down the assist from Pulisic to Mason Mount?
Well, just the intelligence. He didn't force the play. He waited. He was patient with it. He's so good on the ball. You can't dive in on Christian Pulisic, and I think that buys other players time. You look at a player like Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, maybe Ziyech, and how they're a little bit more direct in their play. They don't necessarily hold on to the ball. When Christian Pulisic holds on to the ball, this is why he draws those fouls. He draws these cards. He waited for the play to develop. He gave Mason Mount a chance to get on the end of it, and it was quintessential Christian Pulisic at his best in the final third, being not only dynamic, electric, like you said, but cerebral. He knew the play would develop, he knew it would happen, and he waited for it.
Yeah, I'm thinking again about who's involved here, right? Sergio Ramos, Thibaut Courtois, 2 literal giants of the game. Not only does he freeze them both in that moment because of the patience you talk about, because of that savvy, then he splits them for the play. And then if you pull back even further and you think about the moment, as you said off the top of the show, you don't want to let Real Madrid hang around.
No.
And that breakthrough was something that had been denied, not just to Christian Pulisic, as you mentioned multiple times, but really to Chelsea. They were leaving Real Madrid in this game. And so it was a big, big moment for him to make the play that finally kills off Real Madrid in Champions League, right? That's killing the dragon at the end of the movie.
I don't know about you, Seb, but I'm watching this game at home, and I'm getting this just sinking feeling at the bottom of my stomach that Sergio Ramos is going to rise up like a salmon, like my buddy Dunstead says, and he's going to just put one in the back of the net in the dying minutes, 94th minute, if you will. You got that sensation because they were just missing so many obvious chances. A lot of that, not to the fault of their own. I mean, you can't predict it's going to hit off the woodwork or it's going to go barely wide or a great save, whatever it may be, but it wasn't going in. And you can't leave a team like Real Madrid hanging around, lying around with those type of chances missed.
All right, let's get into the discussion of whether Christian Pulisic should have started this match or not. Herc, very quickly, were you surprised when you saw that he wasn't in the 11?
Of course I'm surprised. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you Americans, you know, what do you expect, this and that. I'm surprised because of what we've seen from him in the last match. I mean, he scores a game winner, or actually, he scores the top. It was the game-winning goal at that moment versus Real Madrid, the 1-1 in the first leg of the semifinal. We go back before that. He had a man-of-the-match performance against Porto in the second leg. You go back before that, he set up what was the game-winning assist against Atletico, multiple man-of-the-match performances in the Premier League. It's just one after the other. He's accumulating all these great performances, and on the weekend, he is rested. In our eyes, he was rested. So I was very surprised when I didn't see him in the starting lineup.
You were surprised. Christian Pulisic used different words when he was asked about it after the match and the decision not to start him from his manager, Thomas Tuchel. Here's what he had to say. Quote, very frustrated. There's not much else to say. I wanted to play from the beginning, as I always do. I've had to continue to prove myself over and over. Christian Pulisic's usually a pretty quiet guy, but he's not hiding his feelings here, is he?
No, and people confuse sometimes Christian Pulisic being soft-spoken or quiet for weakness, that he's mentally weak, and not at all. You cannot be a mentally weak player if you have to go through what he's gone through with injury, with having to ride the bench, with having sometimes to doubt yourself or have people doubt you in your ability, doubt if your coach even trusts you, and ride this type of wave. And in the biggest game of your life, of your career, against a team that you just scored on, that you played very well against, Real Madrid, one of the most storied teams, you're on the bench again. Most players, big players, would have retracted into a shell, would have been angry, would have pouted, would have made this about themselves. He did not. He went on the field, he helped his team, and after the game, yeah, I'm frustrated, but I want to play, and so does everyone else. I thought he handled it beautifully. This is Christian Pulisic, who he is today, and I love the fact that he's speaking out because normally he doesn't speak out. Normally he doesn't take this upon himself to let this information go out.
So let me ask you this. You don't see this as where there's smoke, there's fire. Is
there's
there
fire.
either
There's
is
fire.
there trouble? Is there trouble brewing between Christian Pulisic and Thomas Tuchel? Because things are going very well for Chelsea right now. And again, that F word comes up, frustrated from Christian Pulisic.
It can come up as many times as Christian Pulisic wants, but what can anybody say to Thomas Tuchel? What can you really say to this man who pushes all the right buttons? I don't think there's anybody on that team who really feels secure about their starting position. We looked at this 23 different lineups. What worries me about these 23 different lineups under Thomas Tuchel is that Christian Pulisic is at the bottom of that when it comes to starts, only 9. That worries me, but he's getting the most production out of Christian Pulisic. You look at the goal involvements, what was Lampard, there are more minutes, and what is Tuchel, but look at the chances created, and look at the expected goals. He's getting something out of Christian Pulisic that we've not seen before, and I think it's that hunger. So yes, be angry, be frustrated, Christian Pulisic, absolutely, but stay hungry.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.